vciso-au Cyberwatch, July 15, 2025. Strategic Cybersecurity Intelligence Brief, powered by vciso-au. Stay informed, stay prepared, stay secure. Ensure your cybersecurity program is both proactive and verifiable. By Anil Yelamati, No ANZ Ransomware. Victims reported this cycle. There have been no reported ransomware attacks impacting Australia or New Zealand entities as of this bulletin date. While this is encouraging, it should not lead to complacency. The evolving threat landscape suggests that quiet periods often precede high-impact campaigns. Threat actors may be regrouping, conducting reconnaissance, or preparing for more sophisticated attacks. Organizations must use this period to assess and fortify their cybersecurity posture, patch known vulnerabilities, and test incident response readiness. Supply chain monitoring should also be reinforced, as lateral movement from compromised partners is a rising tactic. Regular threat hunting exercises and SIEM tuning are recommended to maintain high detection fidelity. vciso-au recommends that CISOs initiate a mid-year cyber resilience health check across all business units. Now is the time to validate ransomware playbooks, test backups for integrity, and update disaster recovery plans. This quiet period should serve as a strategic opportunity to invest in staff awareness training and phishing simulations. While no ANZ entities were named this week, the global picture shows persistent activity, and regional targeting can shift quickly. Focus on endpoint hardening and email security, which remain primary attack vectors for initial ransomware access. vciso-au. Tip: use this lull to rehearse your executive tabletop scenarios. Readiness is the best defense. Billions at risk. Flaws in Keygen eSIMs threaten IoT ecosystem. Security Explorations researchers have exposed severe flaws in Keygen's EUICC cards, which underpin the eSIM technology found in over 2 billion devices. Unlike traditional SIMs, eSIMs are embedded in the hardware and managed via software. However, these chips lack sufficient isolation between mobile profiles and embedded Java applications. By gaining physical access and leveraging previously dismissed vulnerabilities in Java card tech, researchers were able to extract sensitive cryptographic material. Shockingly, attackers extracted private ECC keys and identity certificates, which could be weaponized to download and clone eSIM profiles across mobile networks. This undermines GSMA's trust model and renders current security certifications ineffective. The exploit was demonstrated through a proof of concept involving simulated over-the-air attacks. If weaponized at scale, attackers could hijack or clone mobile identities, including for corporate IoT assets, creating potential havoc in industrial and healthcare sectors. The findings invalidate key assumptions around profile security and cryptographic isolation, raising red flags for device manufacturers and MNOs globally. Oracle previously dismissed related research in 2019, but this latest proof has forced Keygen to acknowledge the threat. The lack of integrity checks and isolation challenges the entire eSIM ecosystem's architecture, potentially exposing billions to surveillance and fraud. MNOs and enterprise users alike must re-evaluate their eSIM deployments and demand firmware-level fixes. vciso-au recommendation: enterprise CISOs using IoT and M2M SIMs should validate their eSIM vendors' exposure to this flaw and initiate a security audit of device provisioning pipelines. vciso-au. Tip: require supply chain partners to disclose their use of Keygen-based or Java card platforms and enforce eSIM attestation before onboarding new endpoints. Louis Vuitton UK breach exposes customer PII, adds to LVMH's cyber woes. Louis Vuitton UK has confirmed a data breach affecting customer personal data, including names, contact details, preferences, and purchase history. The incident was discovered on July 2nd, and affected users were warned about potential phishing and social engineering attempts. This breach follows a string of similar incidents across other LVMH brands, including Dior and Tiffany, all under government scrutiny since May. While no financial data was stolen, experts warn that identity-related data can enable sophisticated scams and impersonation. Threat actors could call support lines posing as legitimate customers, or create tailored phishing emails mimicking the brand's tone. Notably, members of the notorious Scattered Spider group are suspected in prior UK retailer attacks and may be linked to this incident. Law enforcement has arrested several individuals across the UK, but it remains unclear if these arrests are related to this breach. LVMH is urged to conduct a comprehensive group-wide security review, especially focusing on identity management and customer service authentication processes. Given the recurring nature of these breaches, shared infrastructure or third-party providers might be a common vulnerability. Security leaders must revisit customer data storage practices and access controls within CRM and marketing systems. vciso-au recommendation. Brands handling high-value customer PII must adopt zero-trust access policies, verify segmentation between customer support and core systems, and audit legacy brand IT stacks. vciso-au tip: initiate a breach simulation exercise with your marketing and customer support teams to train them in real-world impersonation tactics. FortiWeb CVE 2025-25257 exploit released. Patch immediately. A critical exploit affecting Fortinet's FortiWeb WAF appliances, CVE 2025-25257, has been publicly disclosed, with a working proof of concept, POC, available on GitHub. This vulnerability allows remote code execution and could grant attackers full control of affected systems. Given FortiWeb's deployment in high-security environments, this poses a serious risk to data protection and application availability. Organizations should apply patches urgently and check their logs for signs of exploitation attempts since public disclosure. Delayed response could enable data theft or compromise of downstream systems protected by the appliance. This flaw highlights the need for active asset inventory and patch automation strategies. vciso-au recommendation. Use threat intel feeds to monitor FortiWeb activity and block known C2 addresses. vciso-au tip: conduct regular scans for all Fortinet products in your environment and enforce compensating controls via WAF rule sets or external filtering while patching. 80K. WinRAR 0-day on dark web could wreck enterprise email security. A threat actor named ZeroPlayer is offering a 0-day exploit for WinRAR, an RCE flaw distinct from any known CVE, priced at $80,000. WinRAR is used on hundreds of millions of systems, especially for handling compressed files in enterprise workflows. The exploit allegedly bypasses modern mitigations like DEP and ASLR, allowing silent execution on fully patched Windows 11 systems. Crimeware operators and APT groups could rapidly weaponize this in phishing campaigns, embedding malware in harmless-looking archive files. Even security-aware users are vulnerable if their system auto-previews or scans incoming archives. Security teams should consider this threat especially serious for industries with automated document ingestion pipelines, like finance or logistics. vciso-au recommendation: block incoming .rar attachments at the email gateway level and immediately switch to secure archive formats with verified unpacking tools. vciso-au tip: scan for presence of WinRAR across your enterprise, especially on build servers or analyst systems, and disable automatic archive execution features. RenderShock, the new zero-click exploit class. Silently hijacks systems. A new attack vector, dubbed RenderShock, enables payload execution through passive preview features in modern operating systems and enterprise tools. Unlike traditional malware requiring user clicks, RenderShock operates via document previews, indexing services, antivirus scans, and cloud sync functions. These trusted background processes can now be exploited to silently run attacker-controlled code, turning user convenience into a cyber weapon. Examples include viewing files in Windows Explorer preview panes or syncing cloud-stored documents that trigger malicious behavior during auto-indexing. This highlights a design flaw in OS-level file parsing logic and underscores the danger of trusting unverified files even without interaction. Victims may remain unaware of compromise until lateral movement or data exfiltration is detected. The exploit has implications for corporate file sharing tools, document management systems, and even endpoint detection platforms. vciso-au recommendation: disable preview panes in file browsers and Cloud Sync auto-indexing for high-risk users, e.g., finance, legal, HR. vciso-au. Tip: consider containerizing document handling or leveraging virtualized file viewers to inspect untrusted attachments in isolated environments. Ransomware exposure list: last 24 hours, Canada, CASTAR Business Group, Consumer Services, Automotive Service and Collision Repair, 65 GB leak, TriLink Logistics, Inc., Transportation Logistics, leaked via ETA Networks, lstlaw.ca, legal unknown law firm, leaked via ETA Networks, dwlp.ca, legal unknown, leaked via ETA Networks, v4ulogistic.com, Transportation Logistics, leaked via ETA Networks, United States, North Country Healthcare, NCH, Healthcare, health info of 600K patients exposed, Pinnacle Roofing and Exteriors, Construction, Roofing Services Company, Charlotte, NC Dominican Republic, National Institute of Water Resources, INDRHI, Public Sector, manages and conserves water resources Lebanon, Solidaire.com, Real Estate Construction, leak size, 725 meters, USD Egypt, www.gov.eg, Public Sector, Government Agency Site, 2.27 meters, USD breach country not found. Dansoft, Technology, ERP software, ERP and enterprise systems provider. Final note from vciso-au. Australia and New Zealand remain relatively untouched this week, but the global threat landscape continues to shift. Critical infrastructure, software supply chains, and endpoint security are under siege. Ensure your cybersecurity program is both proactive and verifiable. By Anil Yelamati.